Welcome back. We're talking with attorney and author John Whitehead. John, let's talk about the domestic spying issue. Will anger over it and Obamacare help bring about smaller government?
In my opinion, no, as long as we feed into the media hype. If you remember all the...
What do you mean by media hype?
Well, the government's very good at it. I mean, and I would say this, President Obama is one of the best politicians who's ever existed. I mean, remember all the scandal of the NSA, and all of a sudden we had the Syria debacle, which went away, but everybody forgot about the NSA, and virtually no one's talking about it today. I don't trust our government. I mean, when I look at the word government, I think of the word corrupt. I mean, if they're co-joining with corporations to overtax us, overcriminalize us, take our property away, do SWAT team raids on us at $70,000 a year, take our property and all of these things, I mean, we're dealing with a corrupt entity. It either needs to be totally dismantled or we need to reform it. And the question is, can we reform it? I think at the local level, we can make some strides, but people are going to have to get active like Martin Luther King. In my new book, A Government of Wolves, I use Martin Luther King as the example. He said it's time, and he said this, it's time for militant, nonviolent resistance. Nonviolent resistance. You can make it change. Martin Luther King changed the world, but sitting on your butts, watching the Duck Hunter show or Dog the Bounty Hunter, frightening things like that. And they do frighten me when I see those shows.
You mentioned Martin Luther King's tactics. Nelson Mandela just recently passed away, and his tactics started out very similarly, but they also incorporated violent activities to reach their ends. Are we going to see something like that happen here today in America?
I think you're going to see that. I mean, there are a lot of people who are armed to the teeth and they're ready to fight. You're going to see that. And the government actually is preparing for that. If you remember last August 2012, the Department of Homeland Security contracted to buy over 1 billion hollow point bullets for use by federal agents. That includes agencies such as the Department of Education, the Department of Fisheries, IRS. They all have SWAT teams and hollow point bullets now. And hollow point bullets blow you away. I mean, I was a military officer. We weren't allowed to use them. So the government's getting ready for something. I mean, wake up, folks. This is not conspiracy stuff. It's all footnoted. What are federal agents running around with 1 billion hollow point bullets for?
And these are hollow point bullets for domestic use.
They're for killing. It's what the assassin used. So that's exactly what they're armed with. And better get ready. There's a program called Operation Vigilant Eagle that's watching veterans. Veterans are being actually picked up and arrested for Facebook posts. So these things are all happening. All the warning signs are there.
John, about leaks of classified documents to the press revealing secret programs, what effect do you think that's going to have overall with the temperature of liberty that you're speaking of right now?
I think they're great. I think people have a moral obligation. If you see the government violating the law, you need to speak up. But the media has to cover it. You realize most people don't even understand that all these SWAT team raids are going on because the media doesn't cover those. So if we can get the corporate media, and I use the word corporate, as you know, to follow this thing. But when I see these guys on TV now with CNN, these big corporations, they go, as reported by the government. The first thing I think is, as reported by the government, you're giving us a message from the government. You're supposed to be a journalist. Journalism is broken down. I would say we're on the edge of tyranny right now.
Would you say that the corporate media, as you call it, is essentially siding with the big government and not doing their job?
Absolutely so. They're complicit. But let's go back to Nazi Germany. The newspapers there in Nazi Germany and the radio programs at that time, they were complicit. They were giving Hitler great big media hugs while he was carting people away to concentration camps. You're seeing the same thing happen here. And, we have private prisons now where people are being carted away to, where they make money off of incarcerating people and passing new laws so people can't get out of jail. We have the same kind of scenarios operating. This is all detailed in my new book. I have 30 pages of footnotes. Education precedes action. We need to get educated. We need to take action. And again, if you have children or grandchildren, you have an obligation to get active politically with all this stuff going on.
Let's talk about government services. Is the public demand for them too powerful to overcome by those wanting a smaller political structure? Are too many people on the government dole, if you will?
Oh yeah, yeah. The largest employer in the United States is the government. So, and I run into it all the time. In fact, I had an NSA agent. He talked to me recently. He came up and he said, "I want to. I hate what my agency's doing, and I don't like all these things." I said, "Well, why don't you out the government?" He gave me two words: Bradley Manning. So remember the Bradley Manning case? That sent a signal to government agents: if you're going to out us, you're going to be sitting in a solitary confinement for quite a while, and you're going to be tortured. And that's a case that just kind of fizzled away. We're forgetting history. So it's our job, your job, my job to keep people alert that these things are happening, and don't let the bad news go away, because the bad news is not good.
Okay, before we go, what can be done? The individual person, you mentioned education, but action as well. What actions can individuals take to shrink the intrusiveness of government, to restore privacy and the proper role of government?
Drones are coming in 2015. They're going to be awesome. I wrote a drone law for my town here in Charlottesville, Virginia. It was the first town in the United States to pass a resolution saying drones shouldn't be equipped with anti-personnel weapons. Seattle now has passed a very similar law. It started here with local citizens passing a resolution and demanding action. You can make a change in your local community. You're not going to be able to get in to see President Obama or your senator. It's very difficult, because all those lobbyists are there, and they're extensions of the corporate state. So you can make change in your local community. It's like Martin Luther King said: grab your picket sign, and if you have the guts, get willing to be arrested, refuse to move, fight back. Time really is short, folks.
That was John Whitehead. His book available at Amazon.com. It's called A Government of Wolves. Stay tuned to WHDT. We have the rest of today's headlines, all of the news from Hollywood, and a full report on the weather coming up right here on WHDT.